Bang! Welcome to Cryptocurrency Blockchain News, a cryptocurrency blockchain aggregated news show on YouTube. Look, it's going to be drinking. Look, it's going to be smoking. Look, it's going to be swearing. Look, you've been warned. So look, here I come. 3, look, 2, look, 1. Bang! Welcome, everybody. Black, white, gay, straight, Christian, Muslim, Jew. Welcome. My name is Shomari Clarke. Welcome to Cryptocurrency Blockchain News. You're now about to witness. Oh, yeah. The greatest show on earth. The greatest show. Look. In the multiverse. Bang! Greatest daggone show of the daggone multiverse. We have a great show for you today. All right, everybody. Let's get to work. Fucking this is my third time starting this crap. Thank goodness I didn't. My fucking camera has been going out. Anyway, let's get to work. Look, first story. VeChain partners with fashion industry for China in China. Bang! We're going to read about that. All right, and then we get to some serious shit here. Hong Kong regulators are hosting crypto firms for banking services. Well, you all know that Hong Kong is a part of China. And so if China is allowing Hong Kong to offer crypto, well, they're tacitly saying crypto's all right. We'll talk about that when we get there. And then the big one, bang, the Nasdaq is going to offer custody services, and they say that institutional crypto demand is high. Yes. And so actually I'm going to read 2 stories about that same story, 2 articles about that same story, because there's something I want you to hear. All right, so let's just get right to it. Let's just get going like how we get going with a bang. Let me head on over here and we do a little bit of bang, and then we do a little refresh. All right. So like I said, I already did this 2 seconds ago. Thank goodness I didn't get further than this. So all right, price of Bitcoin $27,944. When I left you last time, we're at $24,741. So we've gone up $3,203. $3,203. All right. So macro. Let's do the macro economics. So guys, we're just kind of in just a lot of hurry up and wait mode. Hold on. Let me light this bad boy up here. If we take a trip down memory lane from last year, remember last year we went we were going full risk off. Right? It was a trifecta of fuckery. Last year, I call it the year of the trifecta of fuckery. Right? So there's been different seasons of crypto, right? Since I've started this channel, anyway. So 2018, this channel, we officially, me and the brothers, we call 2018 the 2018 bloodbath, the cryptocurrency bloodbath of 2018, right? It was just a year of Bitcoin started at 18,000, went all the way down to 3,000, right? So that was the cryptocurrency bloodbath of 2018. And if you're still around, well, more power to you, brother. You're not afraid of anything. Believe me. Those are war stories you're going to tell your grandchildren. And so last year, though, was the year of the trifecta of fuckery. What's the trifecta of fuckery, Shomari? I'm going to tell you. So the trifecta of fuckery was first, we started winding down QE. So we stopped printing the money. And I know, remember everyone was complaining of, well, we're printing all the money. Yeah, now everyone's complaining, we're not printing any money, we're raising interest rates. A lot of complainers, people aren't happy. But anyway, so the trifecta of fuckery started with, well, it didn't really start with that. It started with China locking everybody down. But they started that actually a couple years before when COVID first hit, right? But then inflation happened, so we really need China to open up their supply chains, right? So that's the first piece of fuckery, China locking down their folk, their citizens. The second piece of fuckery was QE winding down. Oh, hey, that sent everybody into a risk-off panic, right? Risk-off panic. So that was that piece of it. And inflation, obviously. Inflation hitting. blah, blah, blah. Remember, and the gas prices went up because Russia invaded Ukraine. And speaking of the Ukraine war, the third piece of the trifecta of fuckery was the Ukraine war, right? Because Ukraine is the third largest wheat producer in the world. Right. So, in the MENA region, MENA, that's Middle East, North Africa region of the world, wow, they're supplied by Ukraine. So when Russia invaded, well, fucking Ukraine, the men had to fight. They couldn't go fucking, get the crops. They couldn't get the grain, right? So people were freaking out. Like Egypt, Egypt is one of the largest, most powerful Middle Eastern countries. Yeah, well, they get 70% of their grain from Ukraine. So when that shit happened, everyone was freaking out, right? African countries, Middle East countries, like, what the fuck? All right. And so that was that added to the inflation of food because wheat makes bread, noodles, other shit that bread makes. Or not bread, wheat, not bread. Wheat makes bread. Hold on. Let me get a sip, get my mind right here. Wheat makes bread, right? And, in the Middle East and Africa, they eat mostly bread, right? They don't eat potatoes and shit, right? Anyway, so it caused a food shortage in Africa and the Middle East. And so that was a big problem, like that added to the inflation. But now we're over that. So that was last year. Last year, 2022, was the year of the trifecta of fuckery. Okay? The trifecta of fuckery, all right? You know this one, right? That's what we got last year. Not to be rude, but probably inappropriate for me to do that. But you know what I'm saying, the trifecta of fuckery. And so this year, though, yeah, things have calmed down. The wheat is coming out of Ukraine. I mean, the wheat's been coming out of Ukraine for months now, so this isn't anything new, but I'm just saying we're not worrying about that this year at all. And honestly, I think we should allow the Russians to sell their wheat, right? We're not allowing them to sell their wheat. And, Russia's a major wheat producer as well, right? And so, hold on a second. Can you guys see what the fuck is going on here? 1 second. All right. Just making sure you could see that. It looked like it was off. If it was off, sorry. But anyway, you can at least see my face. And so we were talking about, the trifecta of fuckery. And so we're done with the trifecta of fuckery. And now we are in sort of just our only thing left is inflation. What does inflation mean? It means that the Fed Reserve is going to keep raising interest rates until we get to 2% inflation. Well, not just the Fed Reserve, the ECB, the BOE, so the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, the Canadian Central Bank, even the Japanese fucking lent a hand the other month, man. That's different. They usually try to ride everyone's coattails, the Australians. And so everyone's raising interest rates in a coordinated effort to bring global inflation down. And so, until we get near that, you can just expect crypto and their stock market to just go sideways, okay? So we're just kind of in a boring kind of time right now. Good time to just accumulate while you can, as usual. That's nothing new, but, and just, just prepare for the time when we get to that level, because we're eventually going to get there. Remember, the Chinese have come back online. And so I said this the last show, I think, and I expect by July or August, August-ish, maybe a little into September, we should start feeling the effects of the supply chains opening up from China, right? Like they just opened up, right, in February. Like I told you, I thought we were going to hear horror stories out of China, but they really got through it real quick. And so they've already start putting workers back to work, back in the factories, back on the docks to ship the iPhones and the Bluetooth speakers and microphones and headsets, right? And so we should be seeing the results of that with that stuff on our store shelves, bringing down prices, July, August, maybe September, but July or August, you know? I think, but we'll see. So that's where we're at. All right, let's get back to crypto now. All right, let's do the usual top 10 of the day, brothers and sisters. Top 10 of the day. The usual suspects. Top 10, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD Coin, XRP, Cardano, Dogecoin, Polygon, and Solana holding on the number 10. Let's look at the market moves. Yeah, single digits up, single digits down. Mostly down. Single digits up, single digits down. Single digits up, single digits down. Excuse me, single digits up, single digits down. Actually, it's just all single digits down. All right, let's see who lost money today. If you see anything here, you're like, go get it. Because it's on sale. Which is everything. So just go buy what you like. All right, let's see who we're working with. See the top 10 losers. Bang! Top 10 losers. FracShare, Engine Coin, Basic Attention Token, Lido DAO, Singularity Net, Phantom, Clayta, Synthetics, Ave, and Conflux. Let's see who made money today. If anyone. Stable coins probably. Top 10 gainers. Yeah, like as I suspected. All right. Gets token, Phi USD, Terra Classic, Trust Wallet token, XDC Network, Unacid Leo, USDD, KuCoin token, Huobi token, and Tether. All right, let's see what the total market cap is. Bang! Over a one-piece chicken. All right. Total market cap is $1.178 trillion. When I left you last time, we're at $1.091 trillion. So we have gone up $0.87 trillion. All right, let's see what the 24-hour volume is. What the shit? That is like so stupidly. Man, I think this might have been the lowest number I've ever read ever. Is that for real? That's for real, all right. All right. 24-hour volume is $27.58 billion. You know, well, no wonder the prices aren't going anywhere. And when I left you last time, we were at 101. And you know me, 100 is where I start getting excited. So, I mean, 27, this is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. We are down $73 billion. Fuck. I think that's literally the lowest number I've ever read on that part of the show right there. I don't think we've ever had $24 billion only. My gosh. All right, well, fuck, let's get to some fucking good news. Look, bang, let's get to the stories. Bang, VeChain partners with fashion company to access billion-dollar market in China. Look, with innovative IoT tech. So IoT, you know what that is? That's Internet of Things. All right. Put nodes around and let the nodes gather info and feed it to the blockchain, and the blockchain feeds it to the computers, and the people look at it, and it means all sorts of stuff, and they do stuff because of it. Yes. All right. VeChain's Chinese version, Nanjing Zero, has been drafted by BlockMeme to guarantee quality. Now, I didn't know that there was a Chinese version. Because remember that thing we read way back in 2019 where China has this blockchain thing for its small and medium-sized enterprises where they can all go to it and use the blockchains. Remember that? And it only cost like $14 a month or something like that. Right? And remember that it had the Chinese version. So Chinese citizens had to use one version, but then they had sort of an open version that other people from other nations could use, right? Remember that? I think it was called like the BIS or something, like Blockchain Innovative Service or something like that. Remember that, guys? Okay, so I'm assuming that this Nanjing, now this is just an assumption, I don't know this, But I'm assuming that this is probably the version that, kind of like how China did with the BIS thing, that this is the version they let VeChain deploy in their country. And so here it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, BlockMeme can further embrace VeChain to expand its footing in Web3. So VeChain has continued to make inroads in several multi-billion-dollar companies, and this time it's pulling off its technological innovations with the fast-growing fashion brand BlockMeme. The Chinese-specific version of VeChain, dubbed Nano J Clean, has been tapped as the tech stack to help BlockMeme in maintaining its originality to all customers. So blockchain, what VeChain does, it tracks products to ensure their authenticity, among other things. They do other things too, but that's one of the biggest things. You know that the CEO of VeChain is Sunny Liu. He was the CTO of Louis Vuitton, the high-end fashion brand. You definitely know if your girlfriend put it on your credit card. So anyway, Louis Vuitton. And so that's why, VeChain's tapped into the bigger world of not just blockchain and crypto stuff, but this guy's already been a player in a high-end, that life, that world. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's why VeChain's going to be a success. All right. So BlockMeme was founded back in 2021 as a fashion outfit to resonate with the demands of the younger generation. With a diverse range of products, BlockMeme now plans to engrave its handbags with a chip that can help carriers identify which products are original and which are not. So authenticity. With the digital world expanding at a very sporadic rate, almost everyone now owns a smartphone at the legal age. This has created a wide space and industry that has birthed a whole new identity that has seeped into fashion and other areas of life. For BlockMeme, creating an avenue whereby all these identities can be showcased through its brand and product creativity is a major goal. All right. Let's just move on a little bit. All right. So BlockMeme to tap the VeChain advantage. As a brand trying to grow its audience and target market, BlockMeme can significantly benefit from the VeChain advantage and positioning in today's Web3 ecosystem. VeChain is designed as a high-performance, enterprise-grade Layer 1 blockchain and is known to be one of the top outfits in Web3 to be significantly pivoting into energy efficiency in all aspects of its operations. So while VeChain is outrightly committed to sustainability initiatives, the fact that it has a very highly functional smart contract support system means it can be adapted for any purpose that a brand like BlockMeme looking to make inroads in the Web3. All right, so bang. All right, that's enough, man. Fuck, that's enough. That's enough. Because you all know what VeChain does, right? So this BlockMeme thing, they got a brand that's targeting kids. I don't know about kids, but this is the younger generation. So, and you all know what VeChain does. Let's get to the exciting shit, man. All right, so VeChain hodlers, bang. It's just another onboarding. That's what VeChain do. You know how VeChain do. You know how VeChain be. Shit. You know how VeChain get down. So that's how VeChain getting down around these parts once again. All right, let's move on. Bang! Yes, All right, now we're getting to the fun stuff. HK Regulators to host meeting to help crypto firms with banking. So, why is this so fucking important, man? Well, let me tell you something, fuckstick. China, let me tell you something. There's two countries in this world that have more than 1 billion people. China and India. Yeah, China's got about 1.2, 1.4-ish. Same with India. They got a 1.2-ish, 1.4-ish. I don't know the exact number. But in other words, 1 in every 5 people on Earth, on this planet, are either Indian or Chinese. Yeah. 1 in 5. 1 in 5. So, obviously, well, that's a lot of capital. That's a lot of money. And so we want them in this space. And so Hong Kong, what makes it great about Hong Kong is, China got Hong Kong back from England back in 1997. So Hong Kong is China, but they call it one country, two systems, right? But let's get real. The Chinese Communist Party runs that place, right? Yes, I know the protests that have happened and the democracy protesters, but where's that gotten anybody? Nowhere. So when Hong Kong says this, that they're going to host crypto firms to help them with banking. Yeah, well, that means that's approved by the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. In other words, Xi Jinping, right? Him and his crew, his posse, right? And so, right, and it's not just that they're opening up, but they're actually helping them. Bang, helping them with banking. Do you understand? And so let me just tell you what's going down over there in Hong Kong. China is not going to allow the average citizen to really fuck with crypto right now. But all their whales are just going to head over to Hong Kong called regulatory arbitrage. Okay, there's a little thing called a regulatory arbitrage. Regulatory arbitrage means if you're not going to let me do something somewhere, well, I'll just go fucking somewhere else and do it. Right? Like here in America, some states allow you to smoke marijuana. Yeah, freely, proudly, all right, with no fear of retribution. Right? Free the people. And in other states, yeah, well, I dare you to fucking smoke a joint, motherfucker. You'll go to jail for 20 years. Smoke a joint in Tennessee, you're going to jail for 20 years. Smoke a joint in California, you could probably share it with the cop. You know what I mean? Hey, cop, you want to hit? You know what I'm saying? Two different vibes. So if you want to be a weed smoker in America and not be afraid, yeah, well, move to California. Well, there's multitudes of states, but that's just an example, right? And that's called regulatory arbitrage. And so it's the same in China. If I'm a rich guy, businessman, whatever, rich guy in China, and I can't get crypto in China, well, I can always go to Hong Kong, right? Technically, it is China, right? And that's called a regulatory arbitrage. I can't smoke weed here, but I'll go over there and smoke proudly. And that's what these rich guys in China are about to do. They can't buy it in mainland. They can't buy it in Beijing or Shenzhen province, but they can sure get it in Hong Kong, right? And so there'll be a lot of regulatory arbitrage. What I mean is that this is going to open a lot of money. The fucking floodgates. Remember that Asian, especially Chinese, are looking for investment opportunities, right? Because their government doesn't allow them just to invest like how it is here in America, right? So that's why Chinese are always buying property and stuff in other countries, right? Because in China, you're not allowed to just invest in the local stock market the same way as you can here and stuff like that, right? They have what's called, it's a centrally controlled economy, right? And part of that is that, just they don't allow like how it is here or in your country that you're listening to me from, right? Where just Microsoft just sells stocks to whoever wants to buy them. You're not allowed to do that over there. Anyway, but the point being is Hong Kong is there. There'll be regulatory arbitrage opportunities for those who really want to get into crypto. And there's a lot of money and a lot of Chinese money that's looking for a place to park. All right, so let me have a sip and we'll move on. Yeah, this is great. Basically, you can look at this as code language for China opens to crypto. For their wealthy, because the institutions and the wealthy people are going to go. Soccer mom's not going to drive 1,000 miles from Shenzhen province to Hong Kong to open a crypto account. But a motherfucker will take his private jet to Hong Kong and open a fucking $1 billion crypto account. Absolutely. All right. Let's just read on it. Whoops. Let's just read on and check it all out. Look. Hong Kong regulators are convening a meeting between crypto firms and bankers in a bid to ease financing for the sector as the city seeks to establish itself as a hub for virtual assets. Look! The roundtable will take place on April 28th. Yes. A few more weeks. At the Hong Kong Monetary Authority to facilitate direct dialogue and share practical experiences and perspectives in opening and maintaining bank accounts. Exactly. Right? They're encouraging them to open bank accounts and stuff. According to details of the event seen by Bloomberg News. The session will be held jointly by the HKMA and the Securities and Futures Commission, the SFC, the two regulators overseeing stablecoins and crypto exchanges. After years of skepticism toward the sector, Hong Kong last year unveiled a plan to make itself as a center of digital assets and so-called Web3 firms. But the sector faces difficulties in establishing proper banking. So you guys know that's what happened here in America too, right? And across Europe, right? Like, banks were afraid to handle crypto firms, right? And that's why, like, that bank that went under the other day, SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, right? It was crypto friendly, right? And, it was one of the rare crypto friendly banks in America. And so that's what makes this also special is that, right, they're opening up their banking sector to the crypto world. Hong Kong is, right? Like, imagine America said, okay, JP Morgan, Charles Schwab, everybody, look, let's get together with these crypto nerds. Let's fucking figure this out. Let's get this regulated. Let's get it going, and let's unleash this bitch. Well, that's what Hong Kong, Xi Jinping, and the Communist Party are doing. So I want you to get that, right? All right. So, blah, 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 Hong Kong last year unveiled, blah, blah. All right, let's just start over here. So after years of skepticism toward the sector, Hong Kong last year unveiled a plan to make itself as a center for digital assets to so-called Web3 firms. But the sector faces difficulties in establishing proper banking relationships for even basic needs, such as payroll accounts, because of stringent know your customer and anti-money laundering rules. So remember, that was part of SVB's thing, right? The reason we bailed out, well, we didn't bail out SVB, the banks bailed it out, but the reason all the customers got their money was because a lot of those firms had to pay payroll. So if SVB fell, well, technically those companies would have fallen, right? And not be able to pay their employees, right? So that's why we bailed it out. Anyway, so blah, 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 because of the stringent know your customer and anti-money laundering rules. So you know what that is. That's called FATF compliance. That's the Financial Action Task Force compliance that every country in the world is under. Everyone, even America, even Iran, all of us are under. And so the Chinese are going to help with that. So a recent collapse in a string of U.S. crypto-friendly banks had added difficulties in finding banking for some firms. Even so, one recent bright spot has been a growing interest among Chinese state-owned lenders in the sector, which has come as a surprise to the industry since China has banned most crypto-related, like, bang! And see, that's what I'm talking about. State-owned. You have to remember that half of China's economy is run by the state, right? Like, the government runs it. You know what I mean? Like, here in America, Bank of America is its own bank, right? They're just a bunch of private citizens who run the board of directors. And yeah, but in China, a Bank of America, yeah, it's half owned by the government, right? By the state, by the Communist Party. Let's get fucking real, right? Well, the Communist Party is the state there. And so, right, and so that's what's surprising is that state-owned lenders, in other words, that's being sanctioned by the Communist Party itself. These are, look, let me bang this motherfucker right here. Bang! Chinese state-owned lenders. All right? Remember that. China, it's communist, right? The state is, like, You get it, right? You understand what it is, right? The government is part of your company. A lot of those companies over there, like it's not like here. Jeff Bezos, him and his boys, they make all the money. Well, it doesn't work like that over there, right? Jack Ma, yeah, well, this, the Chinese Communist Party gets their piece. All right, so anyways, so that's what's surprising is that this means that this is sanctioned by the Communist Party itself. All right, let's move on. So spokespeople at HKMA and SFC said they wouldn't comment on any details, but added that they're maintaining dialogue with stakeholders. Bye. All right. Okay, that's it. And so that's what's so amazing. I want you to get that. I want you to get the power of that, what this means. I mean, this is Hong Kong, and they're not just, talking to crypto. No, they're helping them with banking, helping them. You understand? In other words, this is going to be a thing in China. You get it? I don't know what else to say, okay? So, bang! All right, let's get to the Nasdaq. Bang! Nasdaq to launch crypto custody services by the end of Q2. So, and so you all know what custody, well, if you don't know what custody is, where the assets are held. So in the stock market, I'm not going to get into a big thing. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to go to a whole lecture, like a 20-minute one. But just a little yap. Just a little just for people who don't know. Your assets that you buy on the stock markets or bond markets or whatever markets you're on, they're actually held with these companies called custodians. So, for instance, you at home right now, your little soccer mom or your little soccer dad, when you go to your little Charles Schwab account or your little E-Trade account or whatever country you're in or whatever trading account you have, you see on your screen that you have, 100 Microsoft shares, 1,000 Tesla shares, 1,000 Google shares or whatever. But those shares are not actually just with TD Bank. They're actually just in some company. Yeah, like in Texas somewhere. in some server farm in Texas. All right? That's called custody. Okay, so you have to have custody for there to be a market. In other words, for there to be a market, someone's got to hold those assets. And so in crypto land, obviously nobody knows how to hold crypto. Well, they know now. But at the beginning, no one knew how to hold it because it's so unique, right? You buy it and you can just send it to friends and you can spend it on blockchains, like you can use it as gas for a smart contract on Ethereum. Like people had to wrap their head around it. And so, but their head's been wrapped around it. So this isn't anything new. But what's good about this is that the Nasdaq is doing it. The Nasdaq is now going to custody crypto. Yeah, well, if I'm a hedge fund master or I'm a family office or I'm any kind of banking institution or anything, well, I'm not going to fucking worry about getting my shit custodied, right? Like when you're a hedge fund, you have to custody your own shit for your clients, right? You have to hire your own custodians, right? It's not just magical. And so when you got the Nasdaq doing the custody for you, well, bang. Of course, motherfucker, I'm going to just use Nasdaq, right? For instance, BlackRock. BlackRock is going to use Coinbase. That shows a level of trust right there, I'll tell you that. To tell you the truth, I'm interested to see if BlackRock sticks with Coinbase or if they kind of glide over to NASDAQ. Because remember, NASDAQ wasn't there was no crypto custody talk with the NASDAQ back when Coinbase got the BlackRock contract, right? So I'm going to be interested to see if BlackRock sticks with Coinbase or they're like, look, dog, it's the NASDAQ. We got to bounce. You see the prettier girl over there. Look, I love you, sweetie, but we got to go our separate ways. That's mean. But you know what I'm saying, guys. All right, let me get a sip, and we'll dig into this. We'll dig right in. But that's the importance of custody. I want you to get it. If you're new to this channel, you just don't know or you just don't get it. Without custody, without someone to hold all the assets for a whole market, well, there's lots of guys holding. It's not one. Lots of custody for, like, the stock market, worldwide, there's probably fucking 10,000 custodians, probably, just 100 in America alone, right? More even. I mean, just There's also they're custodying different stuff, right? If I'm a fund must, if I have a fund, well, I have to get a guy who custodies funds to custody my fund for me, right? A fund is a basket of assets. You put a whole bunch of shit in a thing and then you sell it to people, right? Assets in a bucket. You sell it to them, right? And so you need to have guys who hold buckets of stuff, all right? Custody, man, it's pretty interesting. I mean, I know it's the nerdy underbelly, it's the geeky underbelly of the markets, but when you understand it, it's like, oh, that's how all this shit works, right? And that's what this channel is about, right? To help you get how it all works, right? Not just the price of my crypto today, but what this thing is you're invested in, right? You're not just invested in the price of a coin. You're invested in this whole system and the operations and functions of this system, right? It's like a car, right? Lots of parts to the car to get you from point A to point B. Well, that's like the markets. You're trying to get rich, right? Well, there's a lot of parts that operate to get you rich. It starts with the custodians. All right, so let's go on. All right, I've already been fueling a little bit, and so I have a little yap in me tonight. I know you guys like that, though, so. I like doing it, so, favorite part of my day when I actually do these. Telling you it is. All right. Global securities marketplace, Nasdaq, is gearing up to launch its custody service for digital assets by the end of the second quarter. Bang! Of this year. Look! Bang! Hook! Bang! Hook! Yes. Bang! By the end of the second quarter. So that's June. By June, Nasdaq, baby, is going to have custody for digital assets. Nasdaq. So, I mean, and I'm going to read you a story. Like I said, we're going to do 2 Nasdaq stories tonight because I want you to feel the power of it. And the second story I'm going to read, this story is a good overview, but the second one I'm going to read to you, it's more like how I like to talk to you. I like to talk to you about the deep and behind the scenes shit. I don't know about behind the scenes, but the deep. So let's just get through this vanilla one and let's get to the deep one there. So as reported by Bloomberg, the exchange group has applied for a limited purpose trust company charter from the New York Department of Financial Services. The NYDFS, our friends at the NYDFS, brothers and sisters, we've been talking about them on this channel for a long time. So, and if you get approved by them, the reason we talk about them is because if you get approved by the NYDFS, well, fuck it, and obviously you're approved everywhere in America. You know what I mean? They're the strictest, so it's like getting approved to do something in Japan. Once your investment vehicle is approved in Japan, you can fucking sell that shit anywhere. All right. Anyway, though, which would oversee the new business. Nasdaq Senior Vice President and Head of Nasdaq Digital Assets, Ira Urbach, reportedly disclosed this in an interview in Paris, stating that the group is committing to ensuring all necessary regulatory approvals and technical infrastructure are in place. Of course they are. And that's what the Nasdaq is about. That's what they're about. Ensuring all necessary regulatory approvals and technical infrastructure are in place. Oh, yeah. And they've got the money to do it, obviously. They're the Nasdaq. They've got the infrastructure like a motherfucker. They got the best IT guys on earth. If you're an IT guy working for Nasdaq, you probably make over $1 million a year. That's how, that's the level. Obviously, you're protecting, imagine all the data, think of all the data you're protecting. And so there they go. They said that, look, we're going to ensure we have all the necessary approvals, of course, and infrastructure. The infrastructure. And that's what this channel is about. Not just to teach you about all the price predictions and bullshit, which actually we don't do here, but just to show you the infrastructure so you understand what it is you're getting into here, right? Not just the killers. Everybody knows, of course, you're fighting against Wall Street. Well, you're about to be. Yeah, so once we get the regs, it's going to be a little different around these parts. But for now, right, that's what I want you to get, right, is the infrastructure, this big creature You're in the global markets, the global financial system. It's called a system because it's a monster. Well, not because it's a monster, but it's a system like your computer, right? It's got memory. Your computer's got memory. It's got, like, you know what's custody? Think of memory of your computer. I don't know if you know how a computer works, but, you know, when you open a program, that program is actually sitting in your memory of your computer. Yeah, well, that's custody. As long as the computer's on, that program is open, it's being custodied in your memory. Yeah. Think of it that way. If you know anything about computers, you'll understand what I just said. All right. So look, initially announced in September, the project will be the exchange operator's first major venture into the crypto industry. Bang! The first step for Nasdaq digital assets division will be to safeguard Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bang! With plans to eventually build a broad suite of services for the group's digital asset division, including execution for financial institutions, Arbach reportedly shared. Bang! So, this is going to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, as you all know here in America, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only regulated digital assets that we have. They're the only ones. Yeah, the only ones on paper regulated. That's why they're the only ones on a Bloomberg terminal. You know, Bloomberg don't fuck around. You know? You got to be super regulated to get on that motherfucker. But once you're on there, look, you're legit. You're the most legit. And so Bitcoin and Ethereum are legit. They're on the Bloomberg terminal. They've been on. Fuck, since before I started this channel. I think they got on November 2017 is when Bloomberg was like, look, bang, and dropped the chicken on everybody. And so that's what it's going to start at. That's what they're going to start with is Bitcoin and Ethereum. But obviously, as regulations are given here in America, well, they'll add more coins, more tokens, more blah, blah, blah. And so, and I want you to think about this is that the Nasdaq, you know, we call it the Nasdaq. Here in America, we say, oh, the Nasdaq. Well, it's not actually the Nasdaq. You know, Nasdaq is just the name of the company, right? Nasdaq is just the company's name, right? There's Nasdaq Bahrain. There's Nasdaq Saudi Arabia. There's Nasdaq Singapore. There's Nasdaq, I don't know, a few other countries, a bunch of other countries. So Nasdaq is just the name of a company, like saying Microsoft, right? So it's not the Nasdaq. It's America's Nasdaq because it was started here, the Nasdaq, but it's actually worldwide. And so I guess what I'm trying to say to you is this: is that the Nasdaq is also in Europe. It's also in the Middle East. And so as countries start coming online, well, and the Nasdaq is a trusted name. You'll see by the next story I read to you, you know, obviously, and you know yourself, it's a trusted name, right? Worldwide. And so this gives credibility and, you know, just like I said, like if you're a hedge fund, if you're if you're Soros Fund, if you're Vanguard, if you're BlackRock, if you're Fidelity, I mean, whatever, like any sort of company like that. Yeah, well, obviously, you know, a big player like that can probably afford this. Because, I mean, if you're just some family office, I'm not sure. Wow. I mean, you probably will be able to afford it if you're a family office. But just, you know, this is going to probably be, you know, it's obviously for institutions. But anyways, let's just move on. Let's move on. Yeah, I'm starting to ramble now. I got to get this. I got to get my mind right. So with traditional financial institutions stepping up to fill the gap left by bankruptcies in the crypto industry, Nasdaq's entry could potentially be a game changer for the sector. Its reputation and size in the global exchange market could help boost institutional investor confidence in the crypto market, paving the way for traditional financial institutions to follow suit. Bang! Exactly. When Fidelity said they wanted to put Bitcoin in 401ks, everyone wants to put Bitcoin in a 401k now, right? Because they're the big dogs. When BlackRock says, look, we're going to start dabbling in crypto, everyone's dabbling in crypto. When the Nasdaq says we're custodying, well, now you know a lot of other big players will also start custodying. So, and again, like it says here, the big boys will come and deal with it. So, Nasdaq is set to join BNY Mellon and Fidelity as part of other larger financial firms offering crypto safekeeping. In 2022, Cointelegraph reported that BNY Mellon, America's oldest bank, had launched crypto services. The 238-year-old bank formed an enterprise digital assets unit in 2021 to develop crypto solutions and a platform to bridge digital and traditional asset custody. So, bang! So Nasdaq's not the first. They're not the first, but it is the mega biggest, right? They're the and BNY Mellon, yeah. They are the oldest bank in Canada. Sorry, Canada, America. But the Nasdaq is the Nasdaq, right? They're the exchange of exchanges. Like the Nasdaq is where Microsoft is listed. Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon. You know what I mean? Like, is Amazon? I don't know if Amazon's on Nasdaq, but you know what I'm saying? So when they're doing it, it's a big deal. All right. And then now we're going to read this. It's the same thing, but they talk a little more in depth, which is what I like. Nasdaq is betting its established reputation. So now we're talking about the reputation. And this is why I want you to understand how important it is. Obviously, Nasdaq has the rep, right? To help it secure a strong place in the world of crypto. The 52-year-old exchange operator is waiting on approval. So we read that, blah, 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 the approval. And, okay, let's actually read this. From the NYDFS, by the end of June, to begin offering custody to clients, Nasdaq announced its intention to move into crypto following the collapse of 3 Arrows in July and has been pushing ahead even with the slump of cryptocurrency prices and the subsequent bankruptcies of FTX, Voyager Digital, Celsius Network, and more. You see, because they understand what's going on, right? Like, I understand, like, if you're new to the markets, you don't get it. We're in a thing called, well, we're not in risk off anymore, but we were in a thing last year called risk off. And so all the markets are down, right? So if you're looking at your crypto, you're like, oh, my fucking portfolio is 50% down. Yeah, well, so is your 401k, isn't it? So is your Tesla shares. So are your Microsoft shares, aren't they? Or weren't they? I don't know where they're at now, but they were back in December, right? I think Tesla was down over 60%, right? So it's not just the crypto market. It's a global, what's called risk off. In other words, I'm not going to get into the whole thing of it, but just the big players take their money and park it in safe assets. What's the safest asset? Bonds. So they just put it in boring bonds. Right? Because we had a lot of, because we had the trifecta of fuckery. Right? I told you about the trifecta of fuckery. Right? And so, but the smart players know that, sure, Bitcoin is down, sure, crypto is down, but everything is down. And when everything comes back, in other words, when the stock market comes back, when big players, or just general players go risk on again, well, it's going to be risk on here in crypto too. Right? And so that's what the Nasdaq is positioning itself for that time. Right now is the time of what this channel is kind of about, obviously on a small level because we're just a bunch of regular people, but also think about what we're doing and think about, well, smarter people are doing what we're doing. They're positioning themselves for something that they know is going to occur. What's going to occur, Shomari? Well, eventually there's going to be crypto regulations and they'll be able to flood their clients' money into the space. Why isn't crypto flying right now, Shomari? Because right now, hedge funds and family offices and big players, they're not allowed to put their clients' money in this space yet. Here comes Europe, though. Here comes Europe and the UK. But Europe for sure. And Europe's got a lot of money. But big boys, they're not allowed to put their clients' money in here. If I'm a hedge fund, Shomari fund, I'm not allowed to fucking put my clients' money, and I'm an American, I'm not allowed to put my clients' money in this space yet. For Bitcoin and Ethereum, yes, but I can't buy them fucking $1 million worth of VeChain. It's illegal. That's highly illegal. You're not allowed to do that yet, and so, but they will be soon, and that's what these big dogs are positioning themselves for something they know that's going to occur, which is regulations. And that's what this channel is about, trying to get you to build a good portfolio, because we know that there will be regulations one day. And we know that when that happens, well, there will be a tsunami. Let me tell you something. There is a tsunami of money that's coming to this space. As soon as they're allowed. As soon as they're allowed. It's not that they don't want to be here. Right? It's not like we got to trick them into coming. They want to come. These are viable corporations. VeChain made $1.2 billion Q1 last year. These are viable companies. I just read you VeChain now, another fucking onboarding. Right? IOTA Stellar. Fuck a whole bunch. A lot of these. All right, guys. And so that's what the big dogs are doing. They're positioning themselves for when the time comes for them to take advantage. And that's what we're doing on this channel. That's what this channel is about. We talk about revenue generating companies so that you put them in your portfolio. I mean, I don't tell you what to buy, but if you've been listening to this channel and you hear the chain link to the rescue, you know, certain things aren't going to hurt your portfolio. And so, you know, position your portfolio for that time to come as well. All right. So you get it. All right. So trust has started to break down a little bit, and they really needed that trust player to come in, right? The trust is broken down since Celsius and FTX and everything. They needed a big player, a big trusted player to come in. That's where the Nasdaq. The turmoil led the company to reevaluate its decision to move into the space. We're on the right path, Severus said. Having that foundational aspect of custody was absolutely critical. And we see the institutions, they're not even backing away from the space, but they're actually looking for players like us to say, great, they know how to deliver it. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're waiting for. Right? Like I told you guys a million times, like, you know, I know Coinbase is Coinbase and all that, and it's listed on it's on the Nasdaq too, but you know, if you're a big mega hedge fund, you don't trust that for custody. You don't know if that's going to be another FTX or what, but the Nasdaq, absolutely. So that's what they've been waiting for. They've been waiting for, what does he say? A player like us to say great, because the Nasdaq knows how to deliver it. So they've done it for 50 years. They're innovative in a regulatory environment as well. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. The next step for us is execution and liquidity services, Servi said. And then we build on our financial. So the execution services, meaning not only can you custody with them, but if you're a hedge fund, you'll be able to buy and sell through them, execute trades through them, right? And liquidity services, Servi said. And then we build on our anti-financial crimes so we can monitor this throughout the ecosystem. So that's the FATF compliance, the financial crimes thing that I talked about a while back there. All right, so there you go. So, bang, I just wanted to bring that. I just wanted to bring that last one, read this last one to emphasize, to show you, right? The NASDAQ is coming. The NASDAQ is coming. And that's what the big players want. If you're George Soros, if you're Vanguard, if you're fucking, BlackRock, like I said, let's see if BlackRock sticks with Coinbase or moves to this NASDAQ thing. You have no fear now. You know, a person, not a person, but an organization that's on your level is playing with you now here in crypto land, right? And so this is great for us, great for the markets. Bang! Let's get to shout-outs. We can't do shout-outs because I haven't done this show for so long. It's all just, well, there's Sloppy. Sloppy! Holding down the insurance scene North America. Larry Brother, up in Canada. Larry Brother, see brother. Bang! Him it. Yes. Bang! All right, everyone else, y'all know I love you guys. All right, well, we'll do this. Oh, it's been so long for my show. I can't just leave everyone bangless. We've been waiting so long. We deserve a bang. All right, settle down. You'll get it. Here we go. J. Will, everybody see with a bang. Bruiser, bang. Deepak, bang. Adam, bang. Well, not every single person. Abundantly me, man. I think he died. All right. Daryl Durant, everybody see with a bang. The Black Man Chris, bang. Dragon Ball Super, bang. Sir Royal Charles, bang. Rochester holding down the insurance scene. Eastern Europe. Larry with the zebra. Bang. Bengals fan. Huge. Bang. Super huge. Bang. Robbie Hardaway for the multiverse. Larry with the zebra. Bang. Wow. Miss Patty Carpenter with her mangy dog here. Miss Patty Carpenter, love you girls, girl. Bang. Cusco's. Bang. Kenneth Hines. Bang. Melvin. Bang. Mayor Maddox. Love you. Bang. All right. Sunny Bee. Spy Lady. Love you, lady. See you, lady. Good to see you back on Twitter. Cheer up. Cheer up. Love you, lady. See you, lady. Bang. The assassin. Yes. Chief Vizu on the Paskuyaki tribe. Bang. Deborah. She's real. She's real. Love you, girl. See you, girl. Bang. I'm bleeding. And you see that Nasdaq news? That's Van Breenen level news. That's Van Breenen level news. Love her with the zebra. The bang. Lorna Allen Downs. She's taking all the crypto boys. You best accumulate while you can. Love your girl. See you, girl. Bang. You know how she be. Stephen. Love her with the zebra. Bang. Crystal Quartz. Love your girl. See you, girl. Stay with the Forex. Look. Bang. I know it's been a rough time now. Even I'm not trading much. Shit. Ginger, I love you with the zebra. The bang. Elise, love your girl. See you, girl. Bang. Edwin, the original. Yes, the official mascot of CB News. The exclusive. Shih Tzu Master. Love you with the zebra. The bang. Crazy Edwin. Bria, love your girl. See you, girl. Bang. Crypto Pimp. Bang. Miguel G started this account just to follow me. Love her with a zebra. The bang. Sloppy. Oh, we just did him, but bang. 2-piece chicken. He's a hungry boy tonight. 2-piece chicken. Universal holding down insurgency in Central Europe. And the official, wow, he's the official lot of stuff. Grill Master. CB News Security Master. And just bang. Holding that chicken. Andrew Cheney, the enforcer. Look. Bang. 007, son of a bitch. Bang. 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 Protecting the chicken. Got you wrong, Kaz. You son of a bitch. It's been a while, but bang. Oh. Look. It's wrong, Kaz. We've been letting you roam around too freely. Gotta put 2 in his ass every once in a while, right? Keep him on his toes. Gotta keep Ronkers on his toes. Well, but he's a master killer, so he knows. Love her for the zebra, the bang. Kind of a boring time, though, isn't it, Ronkers, right now, right? Right, because the trifecta of fuckery last year, it was a little exciting, wasn't it? Right, like we've never been in a trifecta of fuckery. We've been in a housing crash and just a housing crash. We've been in, Argentina bond collapse or whatever. Okay, it's just that. But we've never been in a trifecta of fuckery like we were last year, right? That war that fucked up the wheat, right? Fucking China locking down its people. And then fucking QE winding down, causing risk off, plus the inflation, right? Right? It was kind of exciting. I mean, I'm glad it's over. But fuck, it deserved its own name, didn't it? Right? Like the crypto bloodbath of 2018. Yeah, that was the trifecta of fuckery of 2022. All right, fuckstick, settle down. Larry with the zebra, the bang. You know what I'm talking about. Bit connecting the dots. Larry with the zebra, the bang. Grudgeable. Larry with the zebra, the bang. Stay healthy. Carways, Larry with the zebra, the bang. Dino, still haven't invited me on a job. All right, well, I guess I just gotta suck it up. All right, Dino, Larry with the zebra, the bang. The inventor of NoahFest. Yes, he's got trademark rights. On it. Bitcoin Kong, wow. Larry with the zebra, the bang. Stephen, bang. Burger, bang. Native Warrior, bang. Adam, bang. All right. Deep entertainment? Yeah. Soul, brother. Yeah. Lever for the sea, brother. Bang. Crypto lead. Lever for the sea, brother. Bang. I put some extra bass in that one there. That surprised me, actually. And Binium again. 2-piece chicken, why not? Bang. All right, let's get to the Death Star. Fuck. Let's get back to the Death Star. Bang. Welcome back, everybody. We had a great show for you today. Bang. All right. All right. So look. You had a great show. I know. I'm not as hyped up today as I normally would be for something like that Nasdaq. Usually I'd be losing my mind. I think because it's a kind of an old story. Anyway, whatever. Let's just get to work. All right. Bang. VeChain partners with Fashion for China. And so, like I said, China, one agency in China, one of the government agencies there, actually did this whole study thing on VeChain lately. Yeah, like in the past couple of weeks. And it looks like, China, I mean, we did the story here before where Xi Jinping brought Sunny Lu to the that big expo that countries have these expos where businesses come together and meet and collaborate and blah, 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 right? And Xi Jinping himself invited VeChain there. And so that was interesting. And he brought Macron, the president of France there, to meet Sunny Lu and learn about VeChain, which is kind of interesting. But what was funny was that VeChain was already doing work in France. So Macron was like, yeah, we know about VeChain. Our companies already use that. So that was kind of funny. But anyway, so that was a couple of years ago. That was like in 2019. We read that shit. And so, but another onboarding for VeChain. What can we say? I've already said it. Sunny Lu is the CTO of Louis Vuitton. So he was already a market player before crypto. You know what I mean? A lot of these crypto people are crypto nerds building a blockchain looking for a solution, a problem, solutions looking for a problem. Now, well, this guy's already a master, and he figured out, I can use this blockchain to actually solve a problem that we really have, which is counterfeit goods. More than just counterfeit goods, though, but that's what this story's about, counterfeit goods. And so, counterfeiting is, companies lose, I don't know, $60, $100 billion a year due to counterfeit goods. I mean, I don't know about you, but every city I've lived in, Toronto, New York, San Francisco, LA, they all have a Chinatown. And what do they have in Chinatown? Knockoff shit, right? Buy a Louis Vuitton purse for $50, right? And so this will help stop that kind of stuff. And good. So VeChain holders, bang. And then Hong Kong regulators hosted crypto firms to help them. And that is the key word. Help them get banking services. Helped them get banking services, right? To collaborate with them, to help them get them within the FATF compliance frameworks, right? Within FATF, right? The Financial Action Task Force. And so that is amazing. Let's get real about it. All the big players that want in from China are going to obviously go to Hong Kong for regulatory arbitrage and get into crypto there. Yes, we're not going to get the average soccer mom or dad yet, but we will eventually, I think. Because they're, the Chinese, they don't fuck around. Like, they're going to regulate their shit tight. So there ain't going to be no rug pulls or FTX or kind of shit like that going on there. and if you do try that shit, well, you'll be disappeared. So don't try that. Right? Like, here in America, this guy fucked everyone over. SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. Yeah, he gets to chill at his mom's mansion while he's waiting for trial. Yeah, well, that shit doesn't go down in China. Like, if SBF was a Chinese citizen and did that, yeah, he'd just be disappeared. Yeah, it'd just be, FTX clapped. Well, where's the CEO? Nobody knows. We wouldn't know where his ass is. right? So he's lucky he pulled the crime on Americans, or at least got arrested by Americans first. Because you know that they had Alameda, the hedge fund that Bankman-Fried gave the money to, was in Hong Kong, right? Yeah, Hong Kong. They want that girl. The fuck was her name? Caroline. Yeah, they want her. Well, Hong Kong is controlled by China. If she ever gets extradited over there, yeah, you're not going to hear about her again. That'll be disappeared action. And so anyway, though, but just let's get back to crypto and making money. They deserve to be disappeared, though, after what those fuckers did. But anyway, though, so like I said, this allows for regulatory arbitrage for all the major players who want in, and there's a lot. Like I said, China doesn't allow their investor class to invest like here in America, and so all those guys are always looking for overseas shit to invest in and stuff like that. They're always looking for new investment vehicles to park their money, right? Like ask anyone in Toronto or Vancouver, Canada. Yeah. Well, what have the Chinese done? In Vancouver, Canada, the Chinese buy so much property that there's whole condominium buildings, yeah, no one lives in them. Yeah, no one lives there. Yeah, they just buy the condo, but they don't live there. So they're empty. Yeah. That's pretty wild, right? Same within New York, same within Toronto, same within LA, right? So many Chinese are looking for places to park their money. So they buy American real estate. Yeah, they just buy it, but they don't live there. They don't even rent it. It's on their books. All right, I own this piece of property. Done. Condominiums, right? So anyways, and so I guess what I'm trying to tell you is with crypto coming on board, it's going to be a nice place for them to park their money. And they know that, obviously he'll be regulated, like a motherfucker in China. So their money is safe and everything. And so that's what you need, right? A safe place to put your money. And like I said, the reason we don't have the hedge funds, the reason we don't have the big guys yet is because they're not allowed to park their money here yet. American ones. The European ones are about to. So, and that's the other reason why I say wait till July, August, right? The Europeans are about to vote this month pass it. It's already been pretty much voted on. Now they're just going to pass it this month. Fuck, I got to look. Maybe it even passed already. It's the 9th of April today. So we'll see. But yeah, and that's why I say July, August, give it a few months till investment vehicles are made and stuff comes out. And we're going to start seeing good stuff come July, August, maybe September. All right. And then finally, Nasdaq says that institutional crypto demand is still steady and they're going to provide custody. And well, like I said, you need custody to have a market, it's just how it works. And so I just explained to you what custody was. We're not going to get into it again, but the NASDAQ doing it, that's a whole different ball game, right? That's a whole, Fidelity's doing it, yes, which is huge too, but that's not like the NASDAQ doing it, right? BNY Mellon is doing it. America's oldest bank. Yes, true, but still, that's not like the NASDAQ doing it. Because the NASDAQ, it's the NASDAQ, motherfucker, right? And so, again, that lends legitimacy to the space. That's going to bring in all sorts of institutional money. Like I said, a fucking tsunami of it. Well, once the regs come. And like I told you when I read it to you, the NASDAQ is not the NASDAQ. I know I just said that. But, it's not the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is just the name of the company. But there's NASDAQ Singapore. There's NASDAQ Saudi Arabia. There's NASDAQ Bahrain. And a couple other ones, right? They're all over. They're a company that runs exchanges for your country. You know what I mean? That's their service. They run the best. Obviously, it's the fucking NASDAQ, dog. And so when they're saying they're going to custody, and then they said they're going to offer execution services. Well, which means we get to trade right through the Nasdaq. Which, come on, that's the cutting edge technology right there. And so it's just a matter of time. And they said they're going to launch the custody services by the end of Q2, meaning in June. You know, Q meaning quarter. A year is 12 months. Divided into a quarter, that's 3 months per quarter, right? 3 into 12 is 4. So January, February, March is Q1. April, May, June is Q2. July, August, September is Q3. October, November, December is Q4. Okay, that's how it works. So whenever you read Bloomberg or you hear Bloomberg, like Q1, Q2, well, that's what they mean. They chop up the year into 4 quarters and 3 months per quarter. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. All right, so they said by Q2, by the end of Q2. End of Q2 is June. Right, that's the 6 months of the sixth month of the year, which is the end of Q2. So that's right around the corner. And so, look, everything's looking great, guys. I mean, just keep accumulating. Just keep building your portfolio strong, fat. I mean, there's nothing else to do but wait now. I mean, we just are waiting for inflation, to really get down there to 2%. And then once the Fed and everybody else, the ECB, the BOE, everyone else, stops raising interest rates, then we'll fly again. So that's going to happen. It's just a matter of how long, right? I'm an inflation hawk. I think we should have killed inflation. I think we should have raised rates 0.75% all this time. We would have probably been down to 2% now. And as you can see, people are like, oh, you're raising inflation. I mean, you're raising rates. You're going to bring us into a recession. Where's the recession? Remember last year? Shomari, it's going to go into recession. No, it's not. I told you. No, it's not. No, it's not. We're creating too many jobs. But Shomari, 10,000 people got fired from Microsoft. Yeah, and then they got hired last week somewhere else. Fucker. Microsoft's not the only fucking employer. If oh, Shomari, Microsoft and Facebook and Twitter, they just fired people. Yeah, and guess what? When you got Microsoft, Facebook, and Twitter on your resume, guess what? You get a job next week, motherfucker. Right? They always report on the firings. Yeah, they don't tell you about the hirings. Jobs created. Okay, yes. I mean, I guess that's technically the hirings. And so we're creating over 300,000 jobs a month. Shomari, it's going to go to recession. Really? Where? Everyone's getting paid. Everyone's got a job and getting paid. Where's the recession going to come from? So, all right. And so, as you can see, I was right. And so, it's just a matter of we got to wait for this inflation to come down. And we'll be rip-roaring. But like I said, the trifecta fuckery is over. I mean, we don't really have any danger. Like, literally, unless Russia blows off a nuke in that Ukraine war or China invades Taiwan, we have no problems. We just got to wait. Let this QE do its work, get this inflation down, and then off to the races. To the moon we go. All right, so on that note, let's shill it and kill it. But let's get you back to your wives and lives. Look, subscribe below and press the bell. You get an automatic notification when I do the show. Bang! The greatest show on earth. Greatest show. In the multiverse. Bang! My name is Shomari Clarke. I love talking money. Bang! And I love talking crypto. Bang! This is the favorite time of my day when I do it. So look, thank you for having me in your home. And I'll see you all next time for another fun fact-filled day of crypto talk. But until then, subscribe here and press the bell. Press the bell and press the subscribe and press the thumbs up. Smash the thumbs up. And I'll see you all next time. Oh, and watch that video there and get your mind right. And I'll see you all next time. My name is Shomari Clarke. I always watch the money. I'm mostly important for you. You're welcome. I'm always watching the crypto. Bang! Shomari Clarke. Love you guys. Till next time. Yes. Over and out.